A teenager that I'm working with said something really interesting to me the other day. He said that he's really reluctant to ask his mom's opinion on things because he feels like if he gives her an inch, she'll take a mile. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone who just seems to take over? You ask for their opinion and suddenly they've got a whole 10-step system for you. You invite them to help and before you know it, they've redesigned the whole plan. That can be what it's like to be in a relationship with what I call an E in my core personality model. I'm Dr. Denim Slade, and building on my 30 years of experience, I've developed the new core personality model to help you authentically incorporate you into your life and relationships. And this situation that I'm talking about frequently happens when you're in a relationship with an E, or what I call the perfecter in my book, Unlock Your Core Potential, What You Can and Can't Change About Your Personality. When an E brain is working, it's trying to figure out the best way to do whatever it is that it's focused on. It's not about control with E's, it's about optimization. Their brains are wired for exactness and excellence, for seeing the details, the inefficiencies, the what could be better. That's their superpower, and it can get a little tricky in relationships. When an E steps in to help, they usually don't just help, they go all in. They analyze, they refine and improve. They see possibilities that others miss. And if you happen to be on the receiving end of that energy, it can feel like being under a microscope. I've had several clients describe it like the eye of Sauron being turned toward them. The moment the E's focus locks on, you can feel the intensity. And as a result, sometimes people in relationships with E's start to avoid inviting them in because they're afraid of opening the door. It's the give an inch, take a mile dynamic that I shared earlier. You ask for feedback and suddenly the E's reworking the whole thing. You share an idea and now it's a full-blown strategy meeting. So others start thinking, if I let them in, I'm going to lose control and I don't want to be controlled. I hear it all the time from people who love E's. I feel like I'm always disappointing you. I feel like I can't measure up. I feel like I lost myself, like I had to do things your way. And what's fascinating about this is that it's rarely coming from the E trying to dominate. It's coming from the E's genuine belief that there is a best way, and that if we can just get it right, everything else will go smoother, will feel safer, and work better for everyone involved. Unfortunately, when you're on the receiving end of that constant refinement, it can feel like nothing you do is ever quite good enough. And across time, that can start to feel like you're not enough. For E's, this dynamic is also painful. They're often not trying to take over, they're actually trying to help. They're trying to make things better, to relieve stress. But when their input is resisted or misunderstood, it can feel like rejection for them. They can feel like you don't value my insight. And that stings and hurts deeply because their sense of worth is often tied to being right or being useful. So how do they respond? They push harder, not to control, but to prove that they care. And unintentionally, that only serves to reinforce the other person's feeling of being overpowered. This can become a really painful loop. Both people feeling unseen, both feeling misunderstood. I had somebody else share to their E partner, I gave you the reins because I trusted you so much and trusted that you would do it better than me. But then I resented being in the back seat. That's the emotional whiplash that can happen in E relationships. The non-E partner steps back out of trust or out of admiration, but over time, they start to feel invisible. Meanwhile, the E steps forward, thinking that they're helping, not realizing that they're hurting their partner's feelings. Here's what both sides can do to make this better. If you're in a relationship with an E, don't avoid inviting them in. One of the most important things about relationships and about understanding temperament is learning how to capitalize on the strengths that both people possess. And E's really are good at identifying processes to make things better and to improve things. Just set clear parameters and boundaries. You might say something like, hey, can you help me brainstorm, but not take over? I'd love your thoughts on this, but I just want to vent. I'm not looking to fix right now. E's need that clarity. It's helpful for them. It helps them to know when to bring their exactness and when to just be present. And if you are an E, remember, your gift is precision. People need to feel valued and safe with you more than they need perfection. Sometimes the best way that you're seeing isn't the only right way. Sometimes what's best is what keeps connection intact. And by learning how to modulate that incredible focus that you have, you can keep from overwhelming the important people in your life. At their best, E's are the architects of excellence. They really do help us all rise to a higher standard. And love usually can't be treated like a project. Love is a process that has to be developed across time. The goal is not to perfect one another. It's to help each other progress and move forward. And the relationship has to feel like a safe place in order for that to happen. Understanding how we're wired and making room for how you each work is so powerful. If you'd like to learn more about the E temperament and how to work with, not against it, check out the E chapter in my book. And if you want to discover your own temperament, take the free core assessment at whatsmycore.com. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe for more.